Hi everyone, and a huge welcome to this explainer. I am so glad you're joining me today. Look, if you're sitting there right now staring at an absolute mountain of UCAT materials and just feeling completely swamped by the pressure of getting into uni, please take a deep breath. I know exactly how you're feeling. I remember that exact same knot in my stomach. But today, you and I are going to work through this together. We're going to break down this absolute beast of a test into a really clear, manageable, and highly effective strategy based on exactly how I prepared. But first things first, let's tackle the massive elephant in the room. If you've been scrolling through student forums or listening to all that panicked chatter around school, you have probably heard the terrifying rumor that you need 6 full months of grinding, day in and day out, to get a top UCAT score. Well, let me debunk that massive myth for you straight away. Trying to revise for half a year will honestly just lead to burnout long before you ever set foot in the test center. Seriously, some people revise for 6 straight months and still bomb it because they're just exhausted. Your brain needs agility on test day, not exhaustion. So I scored a 2540 in the UCAT, and let me tell you the honest truth. I definitely made mistakes getting there. If I were starting my revision all over again today, completely from scratch, I would do things very differently. I wouldn't waste time on the stuff that doesn't actually get you marks. Instead, I'd follow the exact insider strategies that top percentile scorers use, which I am about to share with you right now. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is exactly what we're going to cover today. 1. The top percentile mindset. 2. A 3-phase study strategy. 3. Tackling verbal reasoning. 4. Mastering decision-making. 5. Quantitative reasoning shortcuts. And finally, 6. Target scores and next steps. Let's get straight to it.
Starting right off with Section 1, the top percentile mindset. Change your approach.
So the very first hurdle you have to clear isn't actually a specific question type. It's stopping the urge to get every single question right. Most of us walk in treating the UCAT exactly like our A-levels or GCSEs, like a traditional knowledge exam. But here's the thing. The UCAT doesn't care what you've memorized. It strictly tests your speed, decision-making, pattern recognition, time management, and sheer endurance. You have to train for a mental marathon here, not a memory test. Honestly, I live by this rule. Learn from every mistake instead of just doing more questions. Blindly answering 500 questions? That won't boost your score. Doing 50, getting 10 of them wrong, and then ruthlessly dissecting exactly why you got those 10 wrong, that is exactly how you leap into the top percentile. It's a total game changer.
Moving right along to Section 2, a 3-phase study strategy, your structured roadmap.
Once your mindset is locked in, you definitely shouldn't just open a practice book and hope for the best. Our 3-phase study strategy is basically the ultimate insider's playbook. Step 1 is the theory phase, learning the specific mechanics of the question types without even worrying about the clock. Then, Step 2 introduces time pressure. This is where you apply that vital weakness analysis we just talked about. And finally, Step 3 is pure simulation, sitting full, grueling mock exams and reviewing them in painstaking detail. This logical progression builds your underlying skills, then your speed, and finally, your endurance. All right, Section 3, tackling verbal reasoning, beat the time pressure. Let's jump straight into the rapid-fire tactical stuff, starting with what a lot of people consider the biggest nightmare on the test. The absolute biggest amateur mistake here is reading the entire text passage as if it's a cozy Sunday novel. You simply do not have the time. The top percentile hack? Always read the question first. Once you know exactly what you're looking for, you just scan the passage for those specific keywords. Avoid reading every passage in full at all costs. You are on a strict seek and find mission here, folks. Next up, Section 4, Mastering Decision-Making. Recognize logic patterns. Now, this section can feel incredibly abstract at first, but this is exactly where recognizing logic patterns becomes your absolute best friend. To succeed here, you absolutely must master syllogisms. These are basically logical arguments that apply deductive reasoning to reach a conclusion based on 2 or more propositions. Think of statements like, all cats are animals, some animals are fluffy, therefore. Grasping this strict mathematical logic is completely non-negotiable for a top score. And this brilliantly illustrates how we systematically attack this section. First, you learn those underlying logic patterns. Then, you aggressively use elimination to strip away the trap answers. By practicing probability and syllogisms repeatedly, you're essentially building a mental library of the examiner's tricks, allowing you to instantly spot the correct logic path and save yourself crucial points in seconds.
All right, Section 5, Quantitative Reasoning Shortcuts, Efficiency over Maths.
I want to reassure you right now, you absolutely do not need to be a human calculator to dominate this section. The secret here is ruthless efficiency. Use estimation whenever the answer options are spread far apart. Don't sit there working out 49 times 11. Just use 50 times 10 to see which answer is in the right ballpark. Also, you must learn to brutally skip those agonizing multi-step calculations that take 2 minutes to solve. Seriously, just guess, flag it, and move on. And finally, master those on-screen calculator shortcuts. Using your computer's number pad instead of frantically clicking the mouse will literally save you minutes across the whole section.
Bringing us to Section 6, Target Scores and Next Steps, Aiming for the Top.
We are in the final act now, so I want you to focus purely on maximizing your marks across the board, rather than stressing over a specific university cutoff. I'll leave you with this powerful truth bomb. Consistency beats motivation. Look, motivation is just a feeling, and feelings fade. You're going to wake up on a rainy Tuesday and you won't want to even look at a logic puzzle. That is exactly where consistency steps in. A disciplined, daily effort of just an hour or two will always outweigh those frantic, fleeting bursts of 8-hour revision sessions. Trust the process, trust the three-phase strategy, and just keep showing up. So the really big question is, are you ready to start your prep? Are you ready to stop blindly answering questions and start training with top percentile strategies? If the answer is yes, then here is exactly where you need to go right now. Head straight over to applaa.com/UCAT. You can access free practice questions, those vital full mock exams we talked about, and some brilliant AI-powered preparation tools that'll help you put everything we've just covered into motion. Jump in, start phase 1 today, and I'll see you at the top of the scoreboards. So how are you going to tackle your very first practice session?